name is Miguel Sanches. I currently teach in the Design and Print Production degree in the Polytechnic Institute of Tomar, and I am a researcher in the SESSÃO Research Center in Lisbon. Today I am presenting the paper Printing Laboratories Practices, the IE magazine case study. This paper aims to address issues related to independent publishing and the exploration of traditional production techniques in a workshop context, namely through the extracurricular project IE magazine that the students of the degree in Design and Print Production of the Polytechnic Institute of Tomar have been developing in recent years, that proposes to contribute to explore and learn outside the classroom and encouraging the use of the equipment and materials provided by the printing laboratories of our institution. Today, graphic designers present themselves with a responsibility detached from the principles presented to us by the history of design, and it often comes up with the role of producer, editor of content and/or solutions. This feature is deeply explored by Lupton or Margolin and was named by Heller in 2002 like designer as authorpreneur. This event can find its peak when we talk about self-publishing, independent publishing, author editing or fanzines, channels increasingly used by designers, illustrators and photographers to share their work, or stating a conviction or orientation towards a particular and restricted set of readers. The origin of this kind of self-published publications, often produced in a do-it-yourself approach and distributed in underground circuits, may be tracked back to the 20s and 30s, with the appearance of the first fanzines. These publications were basic, handcrafted, low-cost, with limited diffusion and circuit-restricted objects, often associated with science fiction fans. Only later, in the 50s and 60s, this sort of publication reached its peak when they became to be the main vehicle of the dissemination of the punk and comic scene. However, the production of this kind of independent publication does not seem to have ceased in the last decades, and even in Portugal there is a growing interest in these communication vehicles, which is evident in the number of existing editions, the number of events and exhibitions devoted to this topic, or even to the scientific research that has been devoted to it. As a reflection of today's digital society, with easy access to desktop publishing tools, many of these publications also take the form of online editions, complementary or not to a print edition, thus increasing the reach and distribution of these titles. This technological transformation is allowing the arrival of a new generation of publishers who will produce their own content, design and print the publication without the need for great technical knowledge. The growing concepts such as print on demand or web to print further enhance the simplicity of producing self-editor or independent publication without the burden of high printing investments. But despite this, there is also a growing promise to return to the craft, to the underground, or do-it-yourself context, mainly associated with publications born in creative circles with a high aesthetic care visible either in the layout or in the choice of printing materials and techniques. Opposed to the producers of fanzines of the 20s, by definition self-taught amateurs without specific graphic or editorial learning, now the publisher's profile has high-level skills of graphic and editorial design. This evolution occurs because design as a discipline is no longer dependent only on an external customer, but increasingly becomes a self-conscious discipline with its own audience, like Mary Moura stated in 2011. Familiarity with production spaces can increase the skills to solve problems. The school as a place of learning, but simultaneously as a space for experimentation, can enhance the skills of the future designer. In laboratories or workshops, it is intended to get their hands dirty. This is how designers can most easily become authors and producers, not merely projecting themselves as someone who solves a communication problem, but often as the author of that problem and the producer of the solution. Lupton describes this new professional as a maker of content and shaper of experiences. The collaborative and experimental character of these spaces in an educational context allows the student to explore their ability to design solutions that meet existing workshops conditions, preparing them for the possibility that the end result might not be the one originally intended. The IE magazine is an extracurricular project owned by the students, acting as a platform for exploring the polytechnic printing laboratories. It also acts as a way of expressing their ideas without a commitment to respond to a teacher, agenda, or problem placed in the context of the classroom. The students in each edition are responsible for the choice of all contents, for the production of images and illustrations, for design and layout, for the choice of materials, and for the production. Created in 1996, now after 2013, this project gained another life, and to ensure the continuity of the project, the publication has now an editor, usually a teacher, that will bridging the gap between students from different years of the design degrees. Since then, 9 more issues have been edited. For each magazine, the editor usually creates a set of technical or financial limitations which the student should be able to solve using only the laboratories of the school. They must be able to choose the contents, produced by them or not, propose a graphic solution, select the materials, and print all the 500 copies. Therefore, we can find in the last editions of this magazine different uses of printing technologies, several types of inks used or finishing methods applied. Overall, the students have already used a letterpress, offset and screen printing, CMYK, Pantone, metallic and fluorescent inks, varnish, debossed, laser cut, and special cut finishings, saddle stitch, double saddle stitch, inlay and jacket application, as well as coated, uncoated and fine papers. In addition to the fact that the magazine's production reflects the exploration of different materials, technologies and equipment available in our lab, this project also tries to encourage type design. All typefaces used in the magazine are designed by students or alumni. In magazine number 5, we launched, in partnership with Adobe, a typeface design competition whose results were published and used in the further editions of the magazine. In current graphic productions, do-it-yourself practices have been assuming increasing importance, revealing themselves as privileged spaces of expression, artistic and personal experimentation. It is essential in IE magazine, as we believe in other examples, that students can use, test, explore all the potential of craft technologies side by side with all other printing methods. The collaborative methodologies used in the context of a workshop are relevant in graphic design and editorial practices, placing the designer also as author, collaborator, and producer. Here you can find some references that we used in our paper. Thank you for your attention.